At 42 years old, Joe Crumble didn't think COVID-19 would affect his life.
I'm thankful, that God brought me through this. And without him, I wouldn't have made it.
Because of COVID complications, Joe's kidneys shut down, and he was put on dialysis for a month and a half. Today, he was able to hug his son Joari for the first time in 2.5 months.
It's just been a roller coaster of emotions, and the first day he got sick, I didn't expect somebody, that close to me, to get COVID. First I was just like, I didn't really think too much about it until, somebody who's close to you actually gets it.
Joari's basketball team, along with family and friends, gathered in downtown Clinton with signs and balloons to welcome Joe home.
He's an awesome man. I'm so happy to have him back home. And of course the whole family is too.
Now that he's home, Joe's ready to do one thing.
I just want to eat.
In Clinton, Kentucky, Jack Kane, WPSD, Local 6. This unsolicited letter from the Center for Voter Information is being sent to people across Kentucky. It's starting to cause confusion with registered voters like Byron Cox.
And I immediately noticed that it was from Frankfurt, and it regarded votings, and I thought it was kind of unusual because I've been registered in Kentucky since 1983.
Cox reached out to the McCracken County Clerk's office for clarification. McCracken County Clerk Julie Griggs says the letters are a major red flag.
That's a big concern. They're sending something that just says current resident, but then yet they're telling you you're not registered to vote or you need to register to vote. That's just, it's crazy.
The most reliable way to check if you're registered to vote in Kentucky is to call your local county clerk's office or go to the State Board of Elections website at elect.ky.gov.
There's just so much more going into this election that we have to prepare for, and then you've got these organizations like this sending out these letters, and it just causes such confusion for voters that's unnecessary.
After confirming he's registered for the election, Cox shredded the letter.
I know with everything that's developing in this current election, I know that there may be all sorts of things out there, and this could be legitimate, but I didn't know, and I didn't want to take any chances.
Griggs says if any voters in the area have questions or concerns about whether they're registered to vote, contact your county clerk's office. In McCracken County, Kentucky, Jack Kane, WPSD, Local 6. Like most people, Sue Yarborough does a lot of her shopping online on sites like Amazon, which means most of her items come in the mail.
I order something about every week from them since we have to stay home, so I just order stuff online a lot.
On a typical Tuesday afternoon, Yarborough went to check her mail. When she opened up her mailbox, she noticed an unusual piece of mail inside. When she opened it up, she was surprised at what she found inside.
The package that I got it in was just a manila envelope. It said from China. Opened it up, and the seeds were in a little Ziploc bag, about like that.
And I thought, who am I supposed to call? Sheriff's Department.
Carlisle County Sheriff Will Gilbert says this was one of the more unique calls his department has gone out on this week.
We don't know what it is. We don't know what the seeds are, and I don't want to handle them, so we'll use our proper protection for it.
Kentucky Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles is warning people of the dangers of planting these seeds.
Unsolicited seeds could be invasive and introduce unknown diseases to local plants, harm livestock, or threaten our environment.
Yarborough says people should be extra vigilant when checking their mail.
I probably would open them up thinking they flower seeds or something and planted them. Who knows?
And if they get a package with unsolicited seeds, they should report it to the Agriculture Department. In Carlisle County, Kentucky, Jack Kane, WPSD, Local 6. A day of record rainfall meant flooding throughout Paducah and McCracken County. For Roger Solver, it was a day of worrying about the water coming up near his home on 25th Street.
It does come up pretty high because right back behind the house, there's a road back here and it floods over. I live with my wife here, and she pretty much stood in a puddle one time and it was all the way up to her knees. And that's how bad it's getting. It gets pretty bad over here.
This creek here is responsible for stormwater drainage between Jackson Street and Old Mayfield Road. When we get large amounts of rain, the amount of water that runs through here is overwhelming.
If it gets too high, we'll go to my aunt's house, which lives like far from my aunt, so we'll go there and stay there for a while.
Paducah City Commissioner Richard Abraham still believes the city should shift focus from the aquatic center to stormwater infrastructure.
We don't need one. We don't need an aquatic center. what we need is to shore up our infrastructure, our stormwater infrastructure.
Commissioner Sandra Wilson thinks the city can do both projects.
It's not either or, it is and. How can we do that to help them? I understand that there are low sections of the city where people do experience some of that. And the things that we can do to help them, that we will. And I believe that we'll be looking at it as we move forward in 2020.
Either way, Solver wants to see change with the city's stormwater infrastructure. In Paducah, Jack Kane, WPSD Local 6. The emotion was felt throughout the room. John Worley graduated from Marshall County High School in 2019. He came tonight to show love and support to his community. And there's one thing he's taking away from the ceremony.
As a community, to be together, to be one, we need to have God as our center point, you know, in everything we do in our everyday our lives.
He reflected on his experience back in the school just after the shooting.
Everybody was on edge. Everybody was, it was so more quiet. And then maybe 2 weeks into it, somebody dropped a book and everybody ran. Not everybody, but a lot of people ran. I ran. And it just kind of, we had to take baby steps into knowing this is going to be a process.
He still carries those worries with him every day.
I still have those moments where I think somebody was shooting fireworks before 4th of July during the day, and I freaked out almost because I thought it was in the distance, and I got kind of scared for a second.
As people left, they took rocks to rebuild Marshall County stronger than it was before. Worley wants people to look to their faith as they begin to move forward.
When you're broken in the sense that something like this happens, the big thing in life to do is to pray and look to God and see what He has to say and know that He's going to be with you each and every step of the way.